Thanks very much to you, Senator Ayotte. Well, you know, it's amazing here, the numbers. There are more than 160 detainees still held at Guantanamo Bay. They're there tonight. Taxpayers pay $150 million a year for that. The president, as you know, has vowed to close it again and again. 5 years ago, first making that promise. But closing a facility that houses some of the most dangerous terrorists in the world has a cost of its own, and one everyone should know about. Pentagon correspondent Chris Lawrence has an out-front investigation.
Former detainees are still returning to terrorism, years after the U.S. let them out of Guantanamo Bay. A U.S. intelligence report also reveals former detainees routinely communicate with each other, sometimes having nefarious discussions about terrorist operations.
We know that terrorist organizations, when these individuals are released, are going to, in every way, shape, or form, try to focus on them.
Two of the terrorists seen conferring with al-Qaeda's second-in-command were transferred from Gitmo. The U.S. released Saeed al-Shiri in 2007. The very next year, he organized an attack on the American embassy in Yemen and rose to become AQAP's number 2, before he was later killed in a drone strike. And the man who eulogized al-Shiri in this video, yet another Gitmo alum. Since the facility opened more than a decade ago, 603 detainees have been transferred from Guantanamo Bay. Intelligence officials confirm more than 16% of them, 100 in all, returned to terrorist activity. But peel back those numbers a bit. Since President Obama took office in early 2009, 71 detainees have been released. 3 have returned to the battlefield, and 4 more are suspected of going back to terrorism.
If you look at the more recent numbers, it's as little as maybe 5%. Doesn't that show the program is now working?
Well, I think you look at the countries where those detainees have gone back to, and you look at the job that they're doing.
President Obama has sent prisoners back to Algeria and Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Canada, and the UK. He only recently lifted the embargo on transfers to Yemen, home to a thriving al-Qaeda affiliate. Right now, there are 56 detainees from Yemen who are cleared for transfer. But some say you'd risk setting free the next al-Shiri.
It's still a little bit early, I think, to consider sending the Yemeni detainees back to Yemen.
Attorney David Reams argues there's no proof they'd go back to the battlefield.
Well, again, there you have the question of whether 99 men should be held unjustly because you're worried about what the 100th man may do.
Chris Lawrence, CNN, Washington.